the Enchantress.
Was she on Playboy?
Probably. Like, she's a freak, so, you know. She fucked Ragman, remember?
Fully ragged on.
No, he looks like a damn bum, and she fucked him. Like, I mean, she fucked Frilly.
So she's like, I ain't a bum.
Real name is Dr. June Moon.
June Moon, wow.
Mm-hmm.
June Moon.
Yep.
Doctor of what? What is she a doctor of?
A doctor.
Like dermatologist? Is she a doctorate doctor?
No, she's an actual doctorate doctor.
What was her field of study?
Cannot remember off the top of my head.
Paleontology. She loved dinosaurs.
She liked dinosaur-sized things. Her species is Homo magi, the same as Felix.
Magicians. Okay.
Yeah, same as Felix Faust, the one that gets rocked by everybody.
You know, I realized why Faust was so like prominent in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So based off of that novel, isn't it? Or at least his name is.
Yes.
There's a novel called Faust.
Yeah. That's what he was based off of.
Okay.
The guy that sells his soul to the devil.
Yeah.
For abilities and power, dark magic.
I was like, that makes sense. Like, it sounds so familiar, and I couldn't place it when I was listening.
All they did is rip the full name.
Yeah, they ripped out the whole fucking storyline, basically. Here's your origin.
You are Felix Faust. Team affiliations. She's been with the Suicide Squad, Suicide Squad Black, Shadow Pact, Sentinels of Magic, Forgotten Villains, Justice League Dark, and Justice League. She's been in partnerships with Killer Croc, Sebastian Faust, and Warlock's daughter.
Did I say the Shadow Pack? Is she part of the Shadow Pack?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. I guess that was
the third one.
No, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, Suicide Squad Black, and then Shadow Pact.
I fucking phased out. Shadow Pack.
She also goes by Anita Sulfita.
Anita Sulfita.
The Soul Slinger, and the Succubus.
The Duchess of Gobble.
She's a freak. So June Moon was a freelance artist who was invited to a costume party in an old castle and stumbled upon a secret chamber where an unknown magical being, later named as Zamor, not Namor, empowered her to fight an evil presence in the castle. Saying the words, the Enchantress, her appearance changes from a blonde-haired June to a black-haired and costumed Enchantress and defeats a minotaur creature from a tapestry.
Shazam.
Kind of, yeah. Only instead of Shazam.
You'll say the Enchantress.
The Enchantress. So fucking droll, too.
Enchantress.
Like she just kind of whispers it under her breath. Soon after, she defeats a monster at Cape Kennedy and a mirage of demonic creature manipulated by a crook. In her next appearance, however, the Enchantress is a misguided character fighting Supergirl, who prevents her from gaining omnipotent magical power and canceling all other superpowers on the Earth twice. Her supervillainous side takes over after this, and the Enchantress then continues her career as a member of the Forgotten Villains and part of the army of supervillains during the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover event. She is next recruited into the newly formed Task Force X, and not from Marvel, but soon to be known as the Suicide Squad, on the chance that she could keep her villainous side in check. In her first mission, she uses massive magical energy to defeat Brimstone, which sends her over the edge, and she becomes temporarily truly villainous. During her tenure with the Suicide Squad, June Moon's control over the Enchantress side becomes weaker, and she destroys at least one mission because of this. Teammate Deadshot is tasked with taking her out should she get beyond control. Eventually, Madame Xanadu diagnoses that June's loss of control is because she's using her powers before she can control them, basically. Like, she doesn't have actual control over her powers yet, so it throws her into, like, this rage-filled...
So I had the same thing with Pokemon. I thought I had the genius idea of trading the Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle to a different Game Boy. And then when I got to a certain level, I would get them back. So I'd have the 3 starters at the game.
Yeah.
Well, they knew about that, the game developers. So they made it to where if you weren't a high enough level, badge-wise, you'd have the high enough... These motherfuckers would listen to you.
Yeah.
So they would do attacks that I told them to do. Dirty little motherfucker. Into a fucking blind rage. Be like, Squirtle, use a water shot. And he's like, Squirtle's asleep. Dirty little bitch.
And the only way to counteract this is not to use them until her aura, which protects her from the evil influences of magic, regains in power. Madame Xanadu gives June a necklace that she cannot remove, which, together with a ring to be held by someone else, creates a feedback loop preventing the Enchantress from using magical powers for evil as a temporary measure. She also raises an army to destroy the town and perform terror attacks as stated in the first mission. So she's doing some fucked up shit for Suicide Squad. June then discovers that her Enchantress persona is in fact a separate entity from another dimension fused with her, not simply a manifestation of magic. She learned this when she and the other Suicide Squad members joined Nightshade on a mission to free her homeland, the Nightshade dimension. There, she found out that the Incubus, which took over that dimension, is the brother of Zamor, who merges with her to give her the power of the Enchantress.
Ew. Are they fucking?
I told you she's a freak. You didn't believe me. The Incubus rips his sister out of June, leaving her powerless. Shortly afterwards, June disappears from the Suicide Squad for unknown reasons.
The only reason she had no powers.
Yeah. Next thing that we see, though, it's 11 years later.
Uh-huh.
After a storm caused by a war in hell, June breaks free from the Ostrander Mental Institute in New Jersey, where she has been for an indeterminate period of time, refusing to join with the superpowers fighting a demon invasion on Earth and in hell. The newly freed Enchantress is possessed by Deadman to manipulate her into helping the fight in hell. Once there, June's Enchantress persona is murdered by Sebastian Faust as a purely evil act, and the only way to reignite the fires of hell. It's a good way to reignite the fires of hell, apparently. Kill somebody in a truly evil act. It's like, damn. Next, we see her in JLA Black Baptism. June Moon is left in a semi-catatonic state after the removal of her Enchantress persona and is committed again to Elysium Fields Sanitarium outside of Detroit this time, though. Faust removes her from the sanitarium and reunites her with her Enchantress persona, who had not been killed by him and had been masquerading as Anita Solita.
Anita Solita.
Living on the south side of LA.
Anita Solita. I mean, does that mean, is that a play on like I need? Solita? So she needs a soul?
Yeah.
Ita?
A solita.
Or does she want to be alone? I need solace. Is that what she's trying to say? I need a solita because solita's alone.
Yeah.
So
it's a play on words, however they word it.
I'm trying to what are they trying to, are they just fucking with me or are they actually trying to say something? I can't concentrate because I got to take a fucking piss. Let me take a fucking break real quick for a second. I got to fucking go.
All right, so Anita Solita, a succubus working with a group of mafia-style demons to create a gateway to hell and resurrect Hermes Trismegistus, a mad sorcerer who wanted to destroy life on Earth. When June and the Enchantress are recombined, a new entity called the Soul Singer is temporarily created, which fades away shortly after, leaving the Enchantress behind, once again a separate entity, but cut off from her powers. June Moon is taken to be looked after by Dr. Occult after this.
You pretends like, yeah, I'm just a Dr. Occult. There ain't no fancy name for me. Just call me Dr. Occult.
It's the Dr. Midnight.
You know, like something like Dr. Strange. They just call me Dr. Occult.
I study occult shit, okay?
Just call me Hocus Pocus.
Just start singing that song, Hocus Pocus. You're in focus.
God,
it's your lucky day.
Is that an actual whole song?
Yeah. Well, it's from a TV show. The Candy Camera.
I remember Hocus Pocus just from that movie, the Hocus Pocus.
Oh, really? That every girl fucking loves.
I think I saw that shit like 50 fucking times.
See?
Because it was in Disney. Just like whatever was on back in the
day. Where they ride on vacuums?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then there was Hocus Pocus too.
Then you had that fucking cat that gets fucking crushed in half.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, this is a kid's show?
Yeah.
And then like he fucking puffs back up.
I know girls that can repeat the entire movie line for line. Like, fuck.
Speaking about weird fucking like things in movies.
Yeah.
I remember there was this mummy movie where like they met this mummy and he was just like the actor that played the mummy was the guy that does Patrick's voice in SpongeBob.
Oh God.
I swear, I think it's him. And like he's like they try to like just like teach him how to survive or live in like this because like he's just a mummy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like a kid's movie about a mummy.
Yeah.
And he's trying to find his girlfriend or something. I don't know what the fuck the whole plot is, but they have a mummy that they just sort of like keep like a hidden character, like a fucking ET type character. Like where they try to hide him from the family, like try to help him out, all this and that.
Yeah.
And the reason I remember the movie so much is because there's this random ass scene because it's 2 little boys and one little girl. They're all riding a bike, and they have to go find the mummy.
Mhm.
And he escapes the house, right? We gotta go find him. And the boys are in pajamas, and the girl's in her regular clothes.
Mhm.
And because she says, it's like I don't wear footsie pajamas because I sleep in the nude. And I'm like, what? What? It's such a random fucking line.
That is a very...
And that's why it's burned in my memory, because it's like they're like fucking 10, 12 years old. And this little girl sleeps butt naked, apparently. And I'm like, why did I have to know this information?
Is it called Under Wraps?
Yes, that's it. And I can never forget that. Like, why did what adult wrote that line for a 12-year-old to say?
That is a...
I sleep in the nude. And then, like, it causes the little boy to be so aghast that he fucking smashes it on a mailbox. Like, what? Oh! It's the same with the fucking Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
Where they fucking have they're playing poker. One of them loses and she's got to jump butt naked into a lake. Like, if you lose.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I guess, I don't know. Like,
hey.
I'm guessing, like, that happened to them, like a form of that when they were kids or something.
But again, look what came out with Nickelodeon.
Well, they love that good stuff.
And the dude that did that stuff to, what was his name? Drake?
Yeah, Drake Bell.
Yeah. So, no,
like sometimes stuff just, you see it as an adult, you're like, what the fuck? Like that fucking little boy that kissed that 30-year-old woman in blank check.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, there's some questionable stuff out there.
Well, that fucking Total Drama Island, you ever heard of that? Where like it's supposed to be like a parody of like all those fucking reality shows, but it's a kids show on Cartoon Network, and they have a scene where like this girl gets her fucking top ripped off, and they blur her titties out, and I'm like, this is
what?
Oh yes, you've never said. I've never forgot that, because I'm like, what in the fuck is going on comedy? Like, it's Cartoon Network at fucking 6 p.m.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I mean,
that was the most brazen one. Like, that was blatant. The rest of them, they could try to hide it by being like, oh, that's just how kids talk. That's how.
No.
Well, exactly. But like the whole fucking titties flopping out, that's the most blatant in your face one I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's, then again, it's called Hollyweird for a reason.
Jesus, man.
And remember, it's like every Minecraft person that gets rich.
Yeah, they end up being a fucking pedophile for some reason. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
That, or like you're one of the highest streamers in the world. It's like, time to become a ped. Like, oh,
that is pretty weird. Like the minute they become like a millionaire, they're like, well, time to start dating 12-year-old girls. Apparently,
it's like, good Lord, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Like I was speaking. Like, you're 6'8", you're a 42-year-old man.
Mm-hmm.
You have a daughter, a wife. You were talking to an underage girl. You knew it. You're like, fuck it, let's just keep talking.
It's just weird.
I want to fucking burn my eyes out. How old is she? 14?
Exactly. It's like
when in Ultimate Spider-Man, when Black Cat found out that Peter Parker was 15, she fucking threw up on him.
Yeah. I remember that.
You remember?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to jail.
Only not for stealing.
I'm gonna go to jail. And now he's over here fucking having his fucking pity fucking party. Like, oh, I made a fucking mistake, man. Like, no fucking, you made that, man. You didn't make a mistake. You knew what you were doing.
Mm-hmm.
You made a blatant action, and you got caught. Now you're upset. His whole fucking career is over.
Yeah, and there's a whole list of them. It's sad because there is a whole list of them.
Maybe
that's why,
maybe that's why I couldn't make it as a game streamer, because maybe that's what happened.
You didn't have what it takes.
I didn't have what it takes. That's a perfect way to say it. Like, I just didn't have it, man.
I didn't have that in me.
If I was a pedophile, I would have made it, but apparently not.
That's why I said the only one that's made it that actually is like a wholesome person is PewDiePie at this point.
Here's hoping.
Because he's got a kid.
Here's hoping we don't hear some fucking horrific fucking stories in the future.
Yes, I will say, like,
oh, God.
Let's hope.
Fingers crossed.
But like he's the I'll say like on the surface even he's the only one that like seems somewhat normal, at least like humble enough.
Aside from blurting the N-word, he's okay.
Yeah, but you know who hasn't done that? You know,
I don't just go scream the N-word.
you know,
Actually, I do. I just say the N-word. The N-word, N-word,
which makes it even worse. You don't actually say the full word. You just call it, you're an N-word.
What's that one? Inwa from Merwin. Inwa, Inwa. Wait, is that what they do? Inwa. You fucking milk drinker. I don't know why they call me that, but I remember I don't remember the noise he made when he died. The first man that called me a milk drinker. What the fuck did you say to me?
Just
I fucking threw a fireball.
no, even worse.
Yeah, I'm doing it in fucking close proximity, so it killed me too.
We're both dead, bitch.
Fucking talk about what is it? A backdraft. That bitch blew up in his face and fucking came like that kid's getting real close to me.
All right. The next time that we see the Enchantress is in Day of Vengeance. So Ragman digs the Enchantress.
Watch the under wraps now. Is it on Disney Plus? I bet you they cut it out too. They better have.
Let's see real quick. Let's see here. Blah blah blah. It is on Disney Plus.
Let's see if the horror's still there. Aside from that, I want to see like what the movie. I don't remember what the movie was about, and I've seen it like 30 times. Because as a kid, like you don't
pay attention to it too much, yeah.
Like I don't know, I don't remember a fucking shit about that movie. I'm like, what the? I remember them opening his mouth, like they're coughing fucking dust out. I think
you have to go back and watch it now.
It makes me fear for my dementia. Like if I don't remember a fucking like
with Animorphs.
I don't remember a fucking thing about Animorphs. I'm like, what?
What is this shit?
I was like, who are these fucking people? Why aren't you using your powers?
Like I can only picture like 2 of them, and it was because they were on the covers of the actual
books. Like because they're on I think the books were that fucking like the picture was that fucking nice that I just like superimposed them onto the show that I never fucking watched.
Yeah,
unless I watched the fucking commercials, that was enough for me.
I don't even know if I've seen those though.
I swear there was. I'm like, did I get Mandela? I feel like there was more to the fucking show.
Yeah.
And there's not.
No, I think it was the books were just that like
or was I watching something else that I superimposed onto Animorphs?
I don't think so.
Was there even anything like that?
Not really.
I'm there fighting on a fucking spaceship and then fucking leaving like because the spaceship had landed. Then like having a fight with another fucking lion, Animorph.
No, that happened in the book.
Right. Then I imagine it in my fucking head of the show.
Because they were very well described. And you had the character on every book, so you knew what they looked like. So in your mind...
Damn you, Animorphs, you've ruined my life.
I know. All right. Next time we see her, we have Ragman digging the Enchantress out from under a destroyed forest after the Spectre, bent on killing all the magical beings in the places on Earth, kills nearly 700 sorcerers.
Oh, yeah, that's when they first met, wasn't it?
Yep.
She had to pull like twigs out of her titties or something. I'm just imagining that more. Because she always had that fucking like brassiere.
Yeah,
that always like that always like left the top like
part of her titties, right? Yeah.
This woman came in like that today, where like her tits were like there's tits, right? And then there's what she had,
there's like
which were fucking gargantuan, and she had one of those dresses with no straps.
Yeah.
So it just covered. And and with the top, like you can just see like the amount of fucking. So I'm like, how much titty are you showing? Because like she was showing so much that for another woman it would be her whole titty, but for her it was like half. I'm like, God damn, because they were so fucking big. Like if it was like for regular women's, right?
Yeah.
You'd see like their titties and then the person next to her's titties. Like she had like the titty size of 4 different women.
Good Lord.
Like they were. I was like, God damn. A man can dream to drown in such beauty. But they were like fucking like, they were beyond a K. Like they were like a fucking Z. And I'm like, how are you able to keep them
in there?
Yeah. And without this fucking dress ripping to shreds. I don't know. Like, I don't know what my brain was talking to me.
Spandex.
Like I don't know what my brain was telling me. All it was like, these titties are too big. but we have to abort. I don't know what the fuck. My brain was like, so like, we gotta get out of here. Like, it was like a threat. Like, we got, he's too,
Fire fly.
we need to run. That's what I was thinking, actually.
We need to run.
I was like, God, hey.
These are some big titties. I can sit there and think about it.
Yeah, because I was like, fuck, man. Plus, like, I'm also like not a creep, so it's one of those things where you take a good glance and then you move on with your life. You don't fucking like, yeah. Like, I've seen guys just fucking stare for hours,
Just oval.
like fucking monsters.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Well, no, because everyone's eyes linger or they move around.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get caught like something, you catch something. Oh, cool. Like, oh, that's nice. Or like, that's a big ass, and then you move away. You don't sit there and be like, wow, for hours.
It's like those are some big titties.
Or you'd be like, oh, that's an uninteresting shirt, and like this and that. So like it was like one of those things where like, but like then in your mind, because you remember it, like the whole fucking scenario.
It's like, God.
And I was like, because like now you have a chance to analyze it later on. You're like, wait, those things were fucking, god dang, fee fi fo fumbas. Fucking sweating now from the fucking.
I'm just thinking about that.
I'm glad I survived.
The fight or flight kicked in, and you flew.
That shit must have hurt to lay on top of. Like, she has to like it's one of those things where like some stuff like I imagine women with like huge. Like, how do they lay on their ass when it's like so fucking massive? Like, do they tilt down? You know what I mean? Like, that's how my brain's so fucking sticky
To the side.
right. Or they just fucking their east ass cheek on one side. What the fuck are we talking about? What happened? Where have we got? We went from under wraps to fucking big titties. We're going to hell.
We'll be right along with all those people from Disney.
Back to DC.
All right. The Enchantress divines the seduction of the Spectre by Eclipso or Jean Loring mentally from the safety of the pocket dimension, the Oblivion Bar, where many magical entities have gone to escape him. She then leaves to challenge the Spectre on Earth, having first created a gun that can kill her should be turned evil again, and offering it to Ragman. So basically,
Did they have like a sad moment where she's like, he didn't want to do it, right? Like, I don't want to kill you, I'm going to save you, blah, blah, blah. And then later on, she mocks him for it.
Yes.
Like, fuck you, fucking bitch.
Yep.
I remember that. Because I feel so bad for him.
When she overloads Gin while channeling power from nearly everyone on Earth with magical capabilities to Captain Marvel so that he can defeat the Spectre, she is put out of action by a punch from Blue Devil instead.
Nice.
Instead of being shot to death.
He's like, equal rights.
Recovering quickly enough to devise a plan to lure the Spectre into a trap, the Enchantress helps with the reconstruction of the Rocket Fraternity in Gotham City, after facing Dr. Occult, who has been possessed by the spirit of envy. During the Day of Vengeance series, the Enchantress, the Ragman Blue Devil, and a number of other magical entities form the Shadow Pact super team.
Yeah.
So then we see her within Shadow Pact. The Shadow Pact are summoned by the Phantom Stranger when the town of River Rock, Wyoming, is entrapped in a giant bubble of blood and endangered by the Pentacle, a team of supervillains whose goal is to sacrifice the townspeople to summon the Sun King.
Well, I had that first issue, actually.
Yeah.
It was a huge circle and developed the whole town.
Mm-hmm.
But the circle was made of blood.
Mm-hmm.
And when Superman got there, he's like, how much blood is this? Phantom Stranger's like, it's only a couple of drops because they expanded the whole blood cell all the way out.
Yeah.
And he's like, Batman, Superman, I love Superman. Like,
He's
like,
so wholesome.
no, not so much wholesome. Like, he was like, Phantom Stranger's like, I can make a portal real, because it was so powerful. He can make a portal for someone to go in, but he would be bounced out of the fucking, the blood, like, ritual. And Superman's like, all right, I'm ready to go. Like, he was about to, like, whatever it is, I'm going to go in there and beat some ass. And he's like, no, don't go. You're susceptible to magic attacks. Let the Shadow Pact go. But the fact that he was like, all right, you can make a portal, open that bitch up. I'm about to go in there and beat some ass. He was so ready to fucking go. He just got there. He was about to fucking start swinging on.
It's like, well,
basically, yeah, I'm about to go and beat some fucking ass.
so I meant wholesome and thinking that, oh my God, that's a lot of blood.
He's like, I'm going to go in there and beat the blood out of these motherfuckers.
Something you'd expect from Batman.
Basically, yeah, but Superman was like, he's ready to go. Like, if there's evil afoot, he comes to stop it.
And if he doesn't have to hold back, it makes me even happier.
No kidding. So yeah, he had like a cameo in the little scene, and then he dipped, and then the Shadow Pack went in.
Yeah.
And then I didn't have a car, so I couldn't get to the quick shop to get some more.
So basically 37 people perished before the Shadow Pact managed to defeat them. The Enchantress is able to tap into the magical powers of Stregna, one of the pinnacle, and destroy the bubble from within. She incapacitates or possibly kills one of the pinnacle, the White Rabbit, after he leaves them and frees the Shadow Pact, considering him too unpredictable to work with. It's like, oh, you helped us? Boom, bitch, you're dead. Due to unexpected side effects of the magical spells needed to defeat the villains, the outside world believes that Shadow Pact has been dead for a year, and they are honored with a team statue set inside of the park of Metropolis.
Well, they come back like, what the fuck?
Yes.
I ain't that fucking fat.
That'd be
like like the worst fucking statue you've ever seen of yourself.
Oh, I've seen some bad ones too.
Like, oh man.
The Enchantress then helps the Ragman defeat an assassin to kill him, in the course of which they are attacked by the Wild Hunt, a wild hunt of legend, and temporarily transformed into mystical hellhounds. Shortly after, her spells all save Jim Rook, the Nightmaster, after he is stabbed by his own sword fighting Etrigan the Demon.
Ouch.
Staying at his side for days without sleep and keeping him alive by trading a day of her life for a day of his until he heals himself by the power of his sword.
Jesus.
After the Shadow Pact are seconded to checkmate to infiltrate Cobra's organization. It's a long list of shit right there.
Yeah, like what are we doing? You gotta go into Cobra Kai. You gotta fight him for the karate tournament.
She then helps foil Dr. Gotham.
You know they're on season 6 or some shit?
Seriously?
Yeah, on Netflix. I'm like, when did
Cobra watching it?
Yeah, apparently everybody. All the TikToks talking about Cobra Kai.
Still?
Yeah.
God, that's an 80s movie.
Well, now it's a fucking 2021 goddamn TV show that won't go away.
I didn't even watch the first episode, so I don't even know. She then helps foil Dr. Gotham's plan to destroy Chicago by, it's been destroyed already, but he didn't need to go up there. It's like
Dr. Gotham.
Dr. Gotham. By entering his interdimensional cloak and destroying most of the thousands of magical artifacts contained within. She takes an apprentice, Laura Fell, the Warlock's daughter, before they both unwittingly almost allow a race of mindless creatures called the Unbound to reach Earth while creating a portal to the land of Nightshades, where the Nightmaster, Nightshade, and the Ragman are trapped. She frees her colleagues and the inhabitants of the Nightshade dimension by creating a magical virus to combat the mage-created virus, and created the Unbound, mixed of possessed creatures' souls with the essence of Nightmaster's virtues. When the Nightmaster decides to stay in the Nightshade dimension, the Enchantress kisses him. On returning to Earth, she participates in the final battle against the Sun King. So apparently, at this point, the Sun King has...
So he still fucking woke up.
Yeah. The Shadow Pact, including the Enchantress, helped Captain Atom return to Mirabai's dimension, where General Sam Lane, Lois Lane's father, has moved the main base of his second anti-Kryptonian project 7734.
7734.
Mm-hmm. So he's got an anti-Kryptonian project.
Just a fucking nut. It's like a brass knuckles made of kryptonite. This will get him.
In the New 52, DC Comics canceled all of their titles and relaunched 52 new comics as a part of it.
Dirty bastards.
One of these was Justice League Dark, which features a number of supernatural-themed heroes, including Shade, the Changing Man, Zatanna, John Constantine, and Madame Xanadu, coming together to fight an insane Enchantress who has become separated from June Moon. During the crisis, the Enchantress's power began randomly appearing across the world, causing chaos. The Sphinx of Giza comes to life and attacks tourists, and hundreds of duplicates of June Moon appear to search for the original. While the Justice League tries to intervene, the Enchantress manifests as a colossal monster made up of the bodies of hundreds of June Moons and defeats Superman, Wonder Woman, and Cyborg with ease.
Damn.
John Constantine deduces that Madame Xanadu said an incantation that separated June Moon from the Enchantress and reads an incantation that reverses the spell, reuniting the Enchantress and June Moon once again. And then we have DC Rebirth. So in DC Rebirth, the Enchantress serves as a member of the Suicide Squad again and during the Black Vault story arc. They retrieve an alien item that serves as a portal to the Phantom Zone. However, once they bring it back to Belle Reve Penitentiary, it causes the inmates to go into a killing frenzy except for Harley Quinn, I can even read, Harley Quinn, Amanda Waller, Killer Croc, and Rick Flag. You remember Rick Flag?
Yeah.
That is an old character to be bringing up.
Was it Rick Flag in the new Suicide Squad?
Was he?
I thought it was that one guy that was like a special forces soldier
Maybe.
that John Cena's character, Peacemaker, killed.
I think it may have been, yeah.
And fucking puts that shit to his heart.
Yeah.
And he fucking, that's a good move. He puts it in and then he fucking punches it in even further. So it pierces, like, yeah, because they showed it where like he stabs him in the chest, right?
Yeah.
And then he takes the palm of his other hand while he holds the fucking like spike there, and he pushes it all the way into, and he crushes, like it rips through his heart.
Yeah.
And they actually show the heart part going back, like in CGI.
Yeah.
And like, wow, he's fucking, yeah, it was Rick Flag.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah. June Moon lets the Enchantress out, who also remains unaffected due to being a magical entity. She manages to get Harley Quinn to the vault, but is incapacitated by General Zod, who then sucks the air out of her lungs.
What, he just fucking puts his lip next to what the fuck? That'd be so fucking random.
Just all your hair coming out.
Like, imagine, like, dude, like, he grabs her by the face and, like, he puts his lips up to her. And, that'll teach you.
They're just trying to kiss her.
Basically.
In one of the later issues, Waller calls Moon to help a military general whose house had been possessed by a demon.
His whole house, huh?
She turns into the Enchantress, but she ends up scheming with the demon to escape Waller and destroy the world. She turns back into June to have the demon remove the bomb device and set the Enchantress free, but the demon attacks her and frightens her. June, in retaliation, unleashes magic and banishes the demon without turning into the Enchantress, though. During the Justice League vs. Suicide Squad storyline, the Enchantress is sent with the Suicide Squad to stop a cult from sinking an island as a sacrifice to their god. The Justice League arrives and clashes with the Suicide Squad, and she defeats Superman with ease once she realizes he is vulnerable to magic. When Maxwell Lord breaks into Belle Reve Penitentiary along with Rustam Lobo, Dr. Polaris, the Emerald Empress, and Johnny Sorrow, the Suicide Squad, she threatens Lord only to make quick, overwhelming work God, if I could even talk again now. She threatens Lord only to be quickly overwhelmed by his telepathic powers. So she still got fucked up.
Maximo Lord?
Just Lord. Yeah.
I thought it was that guy, Maximo, whatever. Mac guy.
Basically, yeah. Maxwell Lord, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, same guy.
Professor X, basically.
Yeah. Powers and abilities here. The Enchantress is depicted as a powerful sorceress within the DC universe, widely regarded as one of the most dangerous mystical villains in the superhuman community. Her powers is comparable to that of other powerful dark magic practitioners such as the Wizard, Tanarik, and Sebastian Faust. It is also said that the Enchantress possesses greater sorceress strength than Zatanna, which is, I think that's a one-off because Zatanna is like extremely overpowered. By invoking the name Enchantress, she can transform into a magical state and possess a plethora of abilities granted by her magic, such as flight, the ability to phase through solid objects, object transformation, and shapeshifting. In the New 52 era onward, the Enchantress possesses reality warping abilities and exhibits enough power to defeat Superman in combat. Enchantress also exhibits a unique sensitivity for magic, which enables her to establish connections with other magical entities. For instance, she linked to the essence of Eclipso, conveying his thoughts to her companions during the entire Day of Vengeance storyline. That's how she knew that Eclipso was basically kind of puppeteering the Spectre around and stuff. She also has demonstrated the ability to attack the Spectre through mystical means and remotely access the powers of other magical users, including channeling the combined magical energy of numerous beings to assist Captain Marvel in battling the Spectre. While her primary focus is on magic, the Enchantress possesses average athletic and hand-to-hand combat skills as well. Average?
Can you imagine her getting fucking tired? Like 10 minutes into a fight, like, damn.
She is also a skilled artist. In some recent interpretations, the character can also access magical powers without fully invoking the Enchantress entity. Additionally, she possesses several arcane items, including the Night's Witch Cauldron, which aids her in locating various magical creatures through the DC universe. Her magic hat is also known to conceal various tricks and enchantments. So
she has a hat?
Yeah, the green hat, witch hat.
I was saying it.
It got burned up, I think, during Day of Vengeance.
Oh.
At one point, like, where it got destroyed. You have to remember the Spectre went on a fucking, like, just, he killed everything. 700 sorcerers and wizards and stuff
Forest, yeah.
until Blackbriar Thorn came up.
Burned him too, I remember.
Yeah, where he came back as a sprout. Almost did the whole Groot thing before Groot.
Oh yeah, the Groot, little baby Groot.
Yeah, basically doing the same exact shit. And it's like she appeared in obviously a couple of movies too and everything, but
Terrific movies.
oh god, so what'd you call it, a belly dance?
That fucking goofy ass belly dance she did. I was so CGI'd
Yes.
because they sped it up like fucking times 4. She's like, I'm like, what the fuck are you dancing for, bitch? What's going on? Are you high? So fucking weird. Like it ruined the whole fucking movie, to be honest.
It caught me off guard with the movement.
Because like she's like trying to like be all serious, but she's fucking dancing.
Just like,
Yeah, like with her just her fucking stomach. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?